Hello everyone, today we're going to be looking at the brand new Star Wars The Old Republic Datapad theme that I've just made. So I don't know if you caught my last theme, which was for Final Fantasy VII Remake, the Shinra PHS theme, but I'll put a link in the description. If you have, this is pretty much the same deal as last time. I'll go into some installation stuff, notes toward the end, but for now I'm just going to run through a few of the features for you. So let's unlock. You can see we have a great supercomputer link, the kind that R2-D2 would plug into on the main screen. It's completely randomized, so it always moves differently. On the main page, you have your four main icons, so phone, chat, email, and internet or HoloNet. Which you can customize within custom live wallpaper. If you push Datapad, you'll get some system information, battery info. You'll see this is a Zerka Datapad, which is just a little Easter egg. It's a company that is featured prominently in Knights of the Old Republic and the Old Republic video games. If you tap the weather, you'll get a holo map, which shows you some information as well as your location in the galaxy. You can zoom up, I believe, about 10 levels, and the meter at the side will go up as you do and then back down when you zoom out. Down here, if you push the date, you get an agenda which pulls events from your Google Calendar and also information from Google Fit. If you swipe to the right, you will get your inventory. So this is where you will put your favorite apps, icons. I've made the background look very much like the inventory background in Star Wars The Old Republic. And you can adjust the spacing of this in case your icons don't fit. Back to the main screen, if you hit the center, you'll get access to your personal droid concierge, and anyone who subscribes to my Patreon will get a version of this theme that has more than one droid, and you can mix and match. So if you push it here, we've got C2N2, and you've got 5 icons at the top for music, camera, social media, your favorite file system app, and I guess banking information. So let's go into a bit of the other features. You can change between 3 different factions: Galactic Republic, the Sith Empire, or the Eternal Alliance. And they all have their own color scheme and logo, as you can see there. You'll notice also that the Scomp link in the background, it does some very interesting things as you are navigating the menus. Like it'll zoom in down here, or it'll like expand and collapse, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. I had a lot of fun making that, but it took absolutely forever. Let's go back to the main Galactic Republic thing. Actually, let's switch to Sith Empire. Let me show you some of the other droids. So if we hit droid unit, you'll see we now have 2 VR8. I've done all of these in Photoshop. They're a bit of a pet project of mine to make some images of some of my favorite droids. Again, 2VR8 and the other droids will only be available for Patreon subscribers. Here we've got HK47 and also HK51. You can see with a slightly different antenna. One other feature that this theme has is that if you are a Patreon subscriber, you will be able to switch the language between High Galactic or the Latin alphabet to Aurebesh, which is the alphabet featured in Star Wars. Now that the way the fonts are stored in KLWP, you will have to it requires a sort of wallpaper restart. So I would recommend hitting this button from this preview pane like so, and then hit save. And when you go back to your main screen after hitting save, all of the language will be in Aurebesh, which I think is a pretty cool feature, especially if you've played enough of the KOTOR or Star Wars The Old Republic games. You might actually have learn to understand a little bit of it. It's pretty much one for one the alphabet. They do have some extra characters, but it's more or less one for one character for one character in the Latin alphabet. So let's go into a bit of setup, only because I don't want to make a completely separate video for that. So I'll put a timestamp for this part at the bottom of the video. Basically, you're going to need Custom Live Wallpaper Pro. You can get that off of the Play Store. I got a lot of complaints last time about, it's about $4 in order to get this program. You can download a free version, but unfortunately, the guy who made it does not let you import themes without paying for the Pro version. So bear that in mind. But I have to say, as far as a customization program for Android, there is nothing that I've ever used that beats this. It's basically the best customization program out there. None of this would be possible without this. So let's just go into, this is a little bit simpler than my last theme that I made. If you have the Patreon version, you will have the holo map. If you don't, and you're just downloading the free version, you won't have the holo map, so you don't really have to worry about this. And you will have access to the Galactic Republic theme and C2N2. The other stuff is for anyone who's kind enough to support me on Patreon, so that I can continue making really cool stuff like this for you guys. But you will have the agenda, the datapad, system information, and obviously the inventory and the really cool Scomp Link background, which I think, honestly, that's what took me the longest in this theme, is that Scomp Link. So if you have the holo map available to you in your version of the theme, all you really have to do is follow the tutorial in the description to get your Google Static Maps API key. And you're just going to go to globals and you're going to hit key and you're going to paste it in there. And then the map will work automatically. If you are having, some issues with this grid not lining up, I'm going to show you my settings for Nova Launcher. Again, I recommend having Nova Launcher enabled for this theme. It makes lining up the icons a lot easier. But if you're still having issues, right underneath the key, you have 3 variables here. One of them controls the height of the entire grid, and then the top 2, grid X and grid Y, control the spacing, the vertical spacing and the horizontal spacing respectively, so you can move them sort of up and down and in and out incrementally. So there's no way you won't be able to find a setting that works. Once you have the setting you want, you just hit save, and then even on restart, that setting should persist. And that's pretty much it for KLWP. Actually, let me just go into Nova Launcher here and give you some quick settings. So what I did to get the icons to line up, I have got my home screen set to 12:6. Now this is a Samsung Galaxy S10e, so your settings may be a little bit different, but you're definitely going to want 6 across. I don't know if you need 12 down, depending on how big your screen is, but play around with that. I've got the icon size set to 130%. I don't know why it says 111 here, but play around with that. And then I've got the padding set to large and large, because the folder is sort of in the middle of the screen and we don't want, an icon, crossing the border. Other than that, colors and stuff like that, that's really up to you. That's all personal preference. But yeah, download the free theme. Give me a shout out if you like it and you really want some of those extra thank you features. Please support me on Patreon. It really helps me continue to make cool stuff like this. But if not, really, I hope you enjoy it. I'm definitely going to be using this as my daily driver for the next little while. So thanks a lot. Remember to like and subscribe. And yeah, cheers. Thanks a lot. Bye.